What's going on, people? I wasn't gonna go live, but then I said, maybe I should go live because I had something on my mind. These are just my thoughts. I know nobody's probably up at this time, but I didn't feel like writing this down, so I said, let me, address this as it goes. And this is just my, personal opinion, or nobody has to, take this for gospel, for fact, or anything like that. But these are the things that I think your favorite YouTuber is not telling you, about how YouTube is being structured. I mean, of course, people tell you about the algorithm and adpocalypse. Hey, what's going on? Jack and Jane from the Netherlands. This is the first time I think I caught you live. Yeah, salutations to you. Great channel, Jack and Jane, for those folks out there. Christian, what's going on now? I see you out there. Hey there. As far as I say, for your favorite YouTubers, the big YouTubers, where folks are not really taking the time out to break down to you about how, a lot of them make their money. And from what I see, these are just my observations on the matter. A lot of YouTubers, when the adpocalypse came and the whole situation with PewDiePie and all that stuff went down, didn't really tell you about the shift. They told you about, different things that they were doing, but nobody tells you, okay, how do you make money on YouTube? And then you say to myself, okay, well, who are you, this guy to tell me anything about making money on YouTube? No, I can't get you rich. No, I can't get you a whole bunch of money. None of that fame, fortune. But I can tell you what I've observed. Like Pepsi quit sponsoring people. Yeah, I'm glad you brought up that, Christian. I mean, because that's what's happening. A lot of people, your favorite YouTubers, are not telling you about that. How they're making their money as far as moving from the AdSense. They're going into sponsorships. And a lot of these bigger YouTubers who have big audiences can make those moves to sponsor, their videos. I mean, I saw, a video from a YouTuber I won't name, who basically had Visa all over that, potential YouTuber's commercial. And then there was some people, who have Pepsi, as their sponsors and whatnot, and some with Samsung and whatnot. And they can do that because if you have an audience of 200, 300,000, 300,000, and you have maybe about 20,000 to 1 million people watching each and every one of your videos, it's easier for you to say, you know what, YouTube can do what it wants to do, because basically I have, sponsors that are gonna, help me out. So this video is paid for by such and such sponsors. And that's all fine and good, and well, but nobody's telling the smaller YouTubers how to basically do such and such a thing. I stress to people, you should always, work on the quality of your videos, which you should. The quality is important. Also, focus to build your audience and stuff like that. Engage with people, really care about the people that are watching your videos, watch their stuff, like, comment, subscribe. Even if you give it a thumbs down, be real about why you're giving it a thumbs down. But first, you work on the quality, your message, who you are, what do you want to say to the world. You look at the platform, you build up your audience if you're trying to stay on YouTube, right? And then once you get a sizable audience, you figure out who you want to sponsor you, or what brands you want to partner up with, and you make your proposal to them. I mean, you treat it like a business. YouTube is not a job, but it is business aspects connected to it. And this is for the folks that want to make this a full-time thing. But the reality is, a lot of us are still, in the hobby stages, or some folks are trying and they don't know how. Usually how the bigger YouTubers do it, the ones that already have the bigger audiences, they're already plugged into the system, with YouTube supporting them and, promoting certain videos, and they know the certain content that they could release. They have the inside track. But for those that don't, you have to remember, you got to build up your audience. You got to constantly keep up with what YouTube is going, and the Google whiteboard and the algorithm and the conferences and all these other things that, may be a little bit too exotic for one's taste. So what am I trying to say with all this? What I'm trying to say is, people tell you about the 10 tips and, the 7 secrets and, the hidden ways to get certain things done. But I feel like, when you talk to some of these bigger YouTubers, or when you watch and look at their stuff, I don't think folks are really sharing how they do their thing, or really how they make their bread and how their bones are made, on this YouTube platform. I mean, the people that succeed are the ones that go independent, the ones that are self-sustained, the ones that, you know, basically work on their content, that grow a team, that understand corporate structure, that know how to promote their stuff. And I think all too often what's missing is the quality. You know, people learning about quality, how to edit their stuff, how to properly put their stuff together, what's going to work best for them. And everything is different for everybody. No, one person is the same as the other, even if they're in the same, niche. But after you do all that, you understand the business aspect of it, you get into all that, that's another thing if you want to make this a full-time thing. But I think what people are doing too is that they miss the promotion of these videos. A lot of people don't know how to promote their videos. And people say, okay, well, you promote your video by sharing it on Facebook, social media, or of all types. What's good, Buck? I'm just talking about, some of the bigger YouTubers, what they don't tell you about how they make their money. A lot of them now are switching from, the AdSense to partnerships. You look at somebody like, what's this guy's name? I forget what the YouTuber is, the YouTuber's name who is basically doing it. But there's a lot of YouTubers out there who switched over from AdSense to, sponsorships. Because there's different ways, affiliate marketing, sponsorships, AdSense. And ever since the whole thing happened with, the adpocalypse, where I don't know if people know about PewDiePie and what happened with his channel and how the sponsors pulled from him and they took him away from the YouTube Red situation. You could Google that with PewDiePie and the whole situation. That changed everything for a lot of YouTubers. And then they started implementing these different things because advertisers started coming in and saying, you know what, we don't want our stuff, next to controversial material. We don't want you, to be advertising our stuff on videos. We don't seem appropriate. And then it comes to censorship. And I think it's not fair to the small YouTubers or people that's trying to turn this into something, because who are they to say that you can't be impactful and then still get paid? Because what'll happen is on the platform, they'll tell you, you can't monetize certain content, but if it becomes a trend or a very popular thing, folks don't have any time, any problem, any qualms copying it and turning it and co-opting it into something that's going to be more family friendly or more corporate friendly to the advertisers or whatever the case may be. It sounds like I'm rambling. It sounds like some of this may be, like all over the place, but I'm trying to make a point. The point is that you have a lot of these folks out there that are giving you these tips, that are telling you all these different things. And some of it is antiquated because it's not really the core of what they do. I mean, I can sit here and tell you, buy certain camera equipment and film at a certain time and collaborate with certain people and, put together certain, edited content or, whatever. But if I'm not really going to the nuts and bolts of what you're doing, then I feel like it's a situation where people are just led astray. And I think with a lot of these big YouTubers, sometimes people are how do I put this? Some people are content with just being plugged in with their audience and they're being taken care of. And I think too, also YouTube takes its time to really go after the folks that already have this big built-in audience. Why are they going to take time to build up somebody who's a smaller YouTuber with 2,000 or 3,000 views when you have somebody maybe with 50,000 to 100,000, who could be the next up or the next big thing, and you push that. But I think what happens with the smaller YouTubers, how we win is when we collaborate with each other. When we actually, get with each other and promote each other, and if we have, different things that we know that we can help each other with, Shoot, got to work. This is interesting. Continue after my break. Always other subjects to talk about. Thank you. I appreciate that, Jack and Jane. No, but I'm not trying to stay on here long. I just had some thoughts about it. I just feel like what the YouTubers, the big YouTubers are not really telling you is really how their money is made. It's really how the system works. People could tell you about specs and about what YouTube is doing and what YouTube isn't doing. But I think enough isn't stressed on, how people make their money through affiliate marketing, how people make their money through sponsorships, because that's, to me personally, I think that's the way it's going for a lot of people, on YouTube. If you don't have sponsorships and then you're trying to stay on YouTube and survive, it's going to be very hard for you, because what's happening is they're taking a lot of the AdSense dollars away, and then there's the shadow demonetization where certain things are not being, you're not being paid as much money for your videos as you should be, and certain ads are not even being shown on videos because it's controversial. And I'm just sharing these things because it was just something on my mind. And I know there's a lot of people who are smaller YouTubers. Yeah, Buck. There's certain challenges doing it, but not a lot. True. I just feel like, you know, when folks was just starting to get a win, you know, and things got a little bit sidetracked, or things got a little bit controversial, I think YouTube basically sided with, you know, the advertisers, you know, and big business, and said, you know, hey, look, you know, we understand that you are content creators and you're users of the site, but we're trying to, you know, protect the platform. And you can protect the platform, but the funny thing with that is the advertisers are giving you money based off of who's on this platform. So even if you're siding with the advertisers, right, the advertisers are giving you that money because they're trying to get you to upsell or downsell to these actual you know, content creators and users on the platform. And I feel like yeah, it is, Buck, it is. But I think it's about adapting. It's a learning experience. You know, you take it and you chalk it up and say, you know what can I do to change and grow and shift? And I say to people out there, if you're really trying to make this a business, if you're really trying to turn this into something, you know what, look into the sponsorships. You know, look into, you know, how to, you know, pitch or, you know, proposal to a company and somebody that you're dealing with. But I say first to anybody that's out there trying to do their thing, you have to build up your base. You have to build up the people that support you. You have to build up your viewership. You have to figure out, you know, how many, you know, subscribers or how many views per video do you need till you could actually pitch this to, you know, somebody that maybe feel like it should sponsor you, because that's usually what TV shows do, or, you know, sporting events do. You see it all around, you know. I mean, these different sporting events. Watch any sporting event, you may see Coca-Cola and Pepsi and Gillette and Visa at the same, you know, particular thing. And I feel like it's going like that with the YouTube videos. You know, I feel like, you know, on this platform, everything is really switching more over to sponsorship, but people are not really stressing that. I hear folks talking about the algorithm and the demonetization, and people are stuck in the old way as far as how folks used to make money on for YouTube. And I'm not saying AdSense is dead. I mean, it's still alive. Folks still making money off of it, but who wants to make content that's only particularly focused on those guidelines that YouTube has? I mean, you want to be able to make whatever content that you want to make and still be able to get paid off of it, because guess what? YouTube will turn it around and go on YouTube Red and make a movie about it and sell it to the, you know, to their subscribers, and they'll act like there's nothing happened, you know. So the thing is, how do you try to make money off of what your content you put together? And I think people need to think about it in a different way. Am I about to get into a whole bunch of strategies here online right now on this live stream? No. I just thought about it and I talked about it because I felt like, you know what, that's something that needs to be stressed. You know, sponsorship, promotion, quality, the message that you're sending, understanding your audience, you know, what impact do you want to have, how serious do you want to take this? And I say to folks out there, there's some folks out there who may want to keep this as just a hobby. You may want to keep this to a situation where, you know what, I'm really just doing this in my spare time for fun, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But for those folks that want to take this a little bit more seriously, you need to understand the marketing and promotion side of it. You need to understand sponsorships and brand deals. You need to understand those particular things, because that's what your favorite YouTubers are not telling you and not really talking to you about. Some people say they are, but I don't see a whole bunch of, you know, videos out there about how you actually make the money on YouTube in this newer climate. People talk about it, but they don't really go into depth, because the moment they start talking to you about it, then they say, well, for the low price of $19.99 or $9.99, or if you go to click to my site, I'll show you and teach you. And the reality is, if you're trying to make money on this platform and the information is freely available and I can find it in the library, why are you trying to get me to go buy a book? Which reminds me of a story one time of something that happened. I was on YouTube, you know, or Google Plus back in 2013, and there was this guy, say no names, you know, the dude sold insurance, and he came out with this book, you know, about how to, you know, basically market your content and win the war online for attention and all that stuff. Great. So then he's online, he's selling his book, he's doing his thing, and I'm like, you know, into it. I buy the book, so I'm reading the book, getting into the book, like, yeah, okay, this brother about to, you know, drop some heavy knowledge, about to tell me, you know, how to take over the world, you know, YouTube. Oh, okay, Google Plus, this, that, and the third. I'm about to become a master. Then all of a sudden something happens, and you know, he doesn't get the response that he wants on Google Plus or on YouTube, and then he starts moving away from it, and he abandons his own book. Yeah, exactly. Everybody always wants you to buy something, to pay for something, the secrets that they have. Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't have to pay for something that's already freely available. But back to the guy puts out this book, which I still have the book. I'm not gonna say the guy's name or whatever. So I still have the book, and I'm reading the book, and I had to put the book down because after the guy releases the book, hey, all right, thanks for the thumbs up, Vito. I appreciate the support. After the guy releases the book, all of a sudden he starts abandoning the message and the, you know, the content that he was talking about within his own book. So I'm like saying to myself, you giving out all these tips and tricks, and when things don't work, you leaving folks high and dry. And I feel like really people don't get into the nitty-gritty and the nuts and bolts of what they do. No problem, and thanks for pronouncing my name right. Nah, I know how it is not to have your name pronounced right, Vito. So I just appreciate you for coming on the live stream. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be on here, maybe for a few more minutes, but I'm basically just talking about the things that you know, your favorite YouTubers don't tell you. You know, the stuff they may not really want to talk about. And the funny thing is, you know, with any of the bigger YouTubers, they don't have to tell you how much they make. You know, I don't really care how much you make or what you clock in, or you know what you are on the Forbes list, or if you're an influential, you know, person in the world. I get it. You influencing me because I'm at your page, or I'm on your profile. Okay, I get it. But the question is, how do you do what you do? How do you really make the money? How do you really get it done? You know, what's behind the curtain, like the Wizard of Oz? You know, we want to see the man behind the curtain and how it's really done. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm off to see the wizard. When I come to see the wizard, I want to see the real deal. I don't want to see the smoke and the mirrors. And I feel like a lot of people online give you the smoke and mirrors. They give you the, you know, the 10 tips or the 20 strategies to success, and you find yourself watching video after video after video, and then you're like, damn, I'm watching all this stuff, I'm looking at all these things, I'm seeing all this stuff, I'm practicing these things, I'm buying all this stuff, you know, I'm going to these conferences, I'm supporting, I'm commenting, and not getting no real response back, and you like, well, what's going on? And then it comes down to it, you know, sometimes folks know and they don't want to share. Sometimes they don't know and don't know how to express, or they think it may be luck. But my thing is, if, you know, I'm saying this to the favorite YouTubers, to the big ones, if you really care, if you really want folks to know, oh, what you're saying, Buck, all it's doing is making them money. Yeah, some folks, listen, let's be real. If you're in a position and you're at the top of your game, and then all of a sudden the game switches, and it's harder for people to make money at a lower level, and it's a dog-eat-dog world, and you're not really, you know, like teaching folks like that. Don't sit around and tell me that you're going to give me 6 or 7 tips, and all of a sudden everything's going to be all right, but you're still not going to work your damnedest to stay at your position with certain secrets and things that you may not tell me. You know, because if you look on YouTube, there's certain YouTubers that have access to certain things that certain people don't even have. There's certain meetings and certain calls that people get on an everyday basis, and some of them say this. And it's like, to me, this is just my thing, and maybe this is more of a rant or anything, a pet peeve. My thing is this: if you're gonna make videos, if you're gonna give out tips, if you're gonna tell people how to succeed at this, give them the real deal. Show us what's behind the curtain. Don't just tell me that I'm gonna spin around 6 or 7 times, or I'm gonna do these 10 tips, or I'm gonna have these 5 or 6 different special secret strategies, and I'm gonna win. Hey, what's up? I see you, Yas Poet. We in the house, man. I'm surprised you up at this time, but yeah, that's what's up, man. Thank you for everybody stop by. I appreciate that. They make the vids to make money with the vids, man. Yeah, true, Vito. They do. But my thing is this: if you're giving support to your favorite YouTubers, and they're trying to, you know, or purporting themselves to try to help you, and they really care about where you're coming. Oh, you almost wasn't? Well, I'm glad you're here, though, man. I'm glad you're here. I appreciate it, Yas Poet. My thing is that if you have people support, and this is for the folks that claim that they want to help the people. This is for the folks claim that when they give tips out. If you got your favorite YouTuber out there, they're just trying to entertain you and they're not really getting into the money aspect, then I'm not even referring to them. I'm referring to those folks that always have tips, that always have videos, that are always trying to tell you this and tell you that, and not really getting into the nitty-gritty and the nuts and bolts of how it's done. If you're gonna tell me anything, tell me how it's done. It's just like if I wasn't gonna write poetry and I'm gonna tell you how to write poetry. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna show you my process. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, you know what, read a book, go through these 2 or 3 things, go to this conference, do this, do that, Google this. No, I'm gonna pull out my pen and pad, I'm gonna pull out my resources, and I'm gonna show you how it's done if I really want you to know. And when I look on YouTube, I see stuff like that, but it's always attached to, oh, I have this book to sell, or I got this conference to go to. And that's fine and dandy for those that could afford it. But then you look at it and you say, you know what, we all come from a certain place. We all come from a place where we all didn't have it. And some of us still don't have it. You know, some of us are still just trying to struggle to make our first dollar in something that we care about creatively. The starving artists. There's a lot of starving artists. And it's like which was said by some of the comments in this live stream. You know what, folks, you know, are always trying to make the money, man. They're trying to do what they got to do. But then they turn around and tell you, you know what, you know, these are the secrets and these are the tips to get you up there. And you say to yourself, it's kind of funny because, okay, you give me these tips, you tell me these things, but this is not a cookie cutter approach. And I tell anybody, be transparent about it. Just because I did something to try to succeed or I did something with success doesn't mean it's going to be successful for you. But my thing is just to be real. And I think your favorite YouTubers out there, you know, are not always forthcoming with how they make their money and what they do. Maybe they do it on purpose, you know, maybe they do it by accident. I'm not sure. But I just know the people at the top, some are transparent and some are not. You know, so I say it to those folks out there, to your favorite YouTubers, hold them accountable when they start telling you these tips and strategies about how you do what you do and how to succeed on YouTube. Ask them to show you. Ask them to show you how it's done. If they can't show you how it's done, then I would be suspect. I would be suspectable about how they actually do what they do. You know, because this thing is not a fluke. There's a strategy to how people do what they do, and everything doesn't work for everybody. But hey, you know, it doesn't hurt for folks to take you behind the curtain and behind the scenes and show you how they really do what they do, to humanize it, to tell you the real stuff, you know, to tell you how things really go down, you know, with the corporate structure of YouTube, with the real meetings that folks have, with the brand deals that they get when YouTube starts playing games with corporate sponsorship, what happens when, you know, ad dollars are pulled away, affiliate marketing, you know, just promotion of videos, quality, the real stuff. Because that's how people, you know, pay it forward. Folks talk about paying it forward and how much folks care. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you want to see how much folks care, you know, just call them on it. And if they don't, stop supporting them. And you'll see where they're really at. But, you know, maybe that's just my 2 cents on the matter. I just say, to me personally, I think a lot of times folks let their favorite big YouTubers off the hook. Because if you watch anybody's channel 365 days of the year, you like, you comment, you subscribe, you buy their products, I say the least they could do if they see that you're fellow creators is to tell you and show you and guide you and really, you know, help you to move where you need to move as far as becoming a better content creator. You know, I think folks do it, but sometimes it's half-hearted. You know, I think folks may, you know, help those folks that they feel like they should help when it should be available for everybody, because that's how a lot of the other content creators that are up there now got there. You know, folks supported them and pushed them up there. Yeah, thanks, Vito. I appreciate it. I mean, you can disagree with me if you want. Like I said, I'm not right on everything that I'm saying in this live stream. I'm just expressing my opinion. Like I said, none of this is fact. None of this is gospel. These are just observations and things that I made, and anybody feel like they want to correct me, you know. He said you would if you did, Vito. I appreciate that, you know, because my thing is this. I just talk about what I observe, what I see out there, and I feel like, you know, as far as your favorite YouTubers go, not all of them, but a lot of them don't really tell you the behind the scenes stuff. They really don't give you, hey, what's going on, Rusty Faith? You caught me just as I was about to go off. And like I was saying, I was just talking about how I feel like some of your favorite YouTubers don't really go behind the scenes with this is a live stream that gets them to do that, or gets you to try to tell them to do that, then fine. Because people, hey, all right, nothing much you said was going on. Well, thanks for stopping by the live stream. And again, like I was saying, I say to folks, a lot of times you let your favorite YouTubers off the hook. You know, I mean, especially when it comes to, you know, how things are done and how money is made. And that's only for those folks out there who are actually purporting to actually want to help people. Now, like I said again, if folks are saying they really just want to entertain you and they want you to buy products, then that's what it is. You're saying good night, Vito? I appreciate it. My pleasure. We'll talk again, though, because I'm about to get up out of here myself. I got to get some sleep and get ready for work. Hopefully this is making some kind of sense. Hopefully this is something you got from it. Like I said again, I just feel like when it comes to your favorite YouTubers, what they don't really tell people is the how. People tell you the who, the what, the when, the where, the why. But one of the most significant questions that will ever be answered, I believe, in this world, you know, when it comes to certain things, is how. And as it relates to YouTube and, you know, how certain things are done, I think the how is really not stressed enough. Sometimes people give you the what. This is what you should do, you know, but they're not really telling you how. And without knowing how to get it done, yeah, you know. All right, Yas Poet, saying good night. Put some jazz on it. Appreciate that. And I think it's about time for me to get out of here too. Thanks for everybody that listened. Thanks for everybody that liked. Thanks for everybody that subscribed. Thanks for everybody that commented. Thanks for everybody that stopped by. And I'm out. Peace.